welcome back. This is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. We are going to finish up this album. This is the back inside panel. And when you cut your piece, you want to just kind of sneak up to this edge here, leave a little bit. But what you do not want to do is get awfully close to your gusset. You don't want to fill it in. So it's going to be okay if you have a little bit wider edges on this piece so that you can even them out and stay away from that gusset. So my piece back here ended up measuring almost, it's just a hair over 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. Okay. Now I did this at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's one of those, let's write some notes down because I really wanted to do this, but I've never done it before. So please, if you have an easier or better way to do this, give me some positive feedback in the comments. But what I what I wanted to do was make this large accordion style pocket for back here so that you can put those larger items like newspaper clippings, invitations, notes, memos, congratulation cards, someplace where you could put those depending upon what theme you ended up making this album for. So it will come together in this fashion. I had this element here that I really, really loved. I just think they're so pretty what they've done here. So we'll cut this piece to sit here. And then I made a pocket that's going to come and sit right here at the bottom. And across the top of this piece here was this beautiful floral spread, and I just didn't want to put it in my scraps, so I trimmed it to fit the front of this. So it will sit down here at the base of the pocket, like so. Then here on the inside, we'll use this wood piece panel to work it across there. But then from this piece, I had a large section. So I didn't want to waste it. I came up here, I put it at the top, but you can see that I don't have enough to fill the bottom. So I went to my scraps. I found a piece that I liked. I'm going to run it across the bottom. And then in the cut aparts was one of these beautiful blue leaf stems, and it's going to come right in here at the top. So it kind of balances out the blue, but you've still got a room to put photos or do any journaling. Okay, so that's what we're going to have. So let's get to working on this. I want to do the base first. I hope I did this right, folks. And like I said, if you've done it before and you have a better, you've got a clip or something that you can share, I am more than welcome to it. I'm not so sure that I'll do another one, but you never know. I might have the occasion to. And I can always save it. Now, if I'm not doing this right, I'll know here in about 2 shakes, because this is going to come and clamp here to provide a base, if that makes sense. Ta-da! Smash those together so it will help keep them together. And then we're going to take this tape off. I'm going to line it up on the edge. Now, it looks like I have a tad bit of overhang when I flip this over to the back. I don't think it's going to matter too much. I might sneak in here and trim this piece down just a little bit, so at least it's not sticking out beyond the crease folds. Okay, all right. Now, this piece here ended up being 10 inches across. I'm hoping I fit that in here, right? Yeah, 10 across. And the total depth of this piece was at 9 inches. Here at the bottom, I squared it up. This actually on the ruler measured at 4 inches, and this measured at 6 inches, and 5 inches was in the middle. And then you're going to do a diagonal. This length here is 5 inches on both sides. You will then do a diagonal cut on both of those. All right. Up here, you're going to score at 1/2 and you're going to score at 5/8. We want some of that room behind there so that when you start filling up the envelope that you're not bowing your page and expecting that magnet to do its job to keep everything intact. Okay, I'm going to come underneath here, right up to that first score line. I'm going to stand this nice and tall, make sure it's in there, and then I'm going to press it down, and then I'm going to burnish. But when I burnish, I'm going to pull this one back a bit because I want that score line to stay pronounced. And then you'll have a nice square piece here for your gusset. We're going to lay the inside first. So it's going to come right in here. No, first, magnet. I'm putting it on the top first. And I'm just going to gently lay it down and then press. Now we'll put this in here. And this piece you're going to cut to fit. I am going to use tape because I don't think the glue will stay moist enough by the time I get done going all the way around. So, and I do like to try to tape on the piece that the magnet's under so that if I ever had to get to it, I could. Excuse the crackle, I've got to get some more tape out here. There we go. Where's my end? There's my end. Fingertip wanted to come off. Then I'm going to run one down the center so that it doesn't the piece doesn't pop or pillow up. Trim off that overhang. Come in here. Center it up. Now I hope you haven't thrown any of your scraps away, because you're going to need a fairly wide one. When we're done with this envelope, I'm going to show you what I do to finish off and out. So I think while I'm at it, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to tape. Now, you can see I have a piece of wandering tape here. I miscalculated a cut and had to piece it back together. Tearing at my skin. Take this off last. And then just a little piece here in the center. Take this one off, and then I'm going to kind of lift these a little bit because I did a tape over. Stickies on the end of that. So I can get this up and this up. All right, so now just kind of sneak up in here. And then we're going to take the rest of this off. All right. You can't see it too bad. And by the time a photo gets put on there or an invitation, you won't really notice it. And we're going to glue this piece down. I want to come right up next to this piece here. I'll stay off that gusset. Whoops, you're traveling on me. Now, I want to take this little blue floral leaf and I wanted to accent this right up here at the top. Where's my magnet? I just thought of that. Let's pull it down just a smidgen. I don't want it to interfere with the magnet that's sitting right there. Okay. Now we're going to put this guy on. I need to erase some of my pencil marks so that they don't show. Really quick run some tape strips. Now, I want to make sure that I cut this pocket right. I don't think I did. Well, that might help if I had that where it was supposed to be. Like I said, I've not done this before, so this is a whole new process for me, and I can see right here I've got my angle off. So I'm going to need to cut this, and to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about doing this. I get a little lost at this point, where I'm thinking, okay, I got it. I know what I'm doing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat and do that. And then I think I cut this piece first. Then I can come in here, line these up. Why is that way off right there? You see? But it might be that this is just the way it is because, like I said, full disclosure, I've not done this before. You might have an easier way of doing this. I'm going to cheat again. And it could be that I might have these off, and that's why I'm struggling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. I want to get rid of that extra as best as I can. I might not be able to. I'm going to tack that down. I'm going to come to the underside of this thing. And then I'm going to trim it. And my apologies to all of you. Okay, we're going to make this one work. All right, this is going to go down. I'm going to turn it upside down because I want to see this. And then burnish that a little bit right there. Okay, so now this is going to tape in place here, and then this is going to go in here. So let's go ahead and add this. I'm not going to trim it. I know somewhere my angles are off. If you guys have done this before and you can figure it out, by all means. I am just going to make do with what I have here. I'd rather have these here at the, you know, I gotta be honest with you, it's gonna drive me absolutely crazy if I can't get this thing to fit. So I think I'm gonna cheat again. Tack a little bit of tape on the back of this. I want to tack this in place the way I think it should look. As best as possible. And now I'm going to come up here. Set this down and see where I'm at. I'm going to be quite wide on this side. I can't move it much here. So my apologies. This is like I said, I've not done this before. I'm sure that you've got some links to some. I tried to look through YouTube to see if I could easily find something, and unless it's labeled this way, it's just hard to find. So I just went with my best thought on putting this together. And I'm going to have some off angles. might be one of those opportunities that I place a tag over there. I gotta get that off of there to hide it. I don't know. Okay, let's get this as best as we can lined up and press it down. So yeah, there's a little bit. I could come in with the flower and put it right there. I might try to find one of these pieces and do that. Okay, so for better or for worse, this is my pocket. You've got lots of room to do your journaling and your photos. So we are going to work on the back of this. And then we're going to get it seated in the album. I know somebody out there has got to have done one of those. Because I think that's where my 2 a.m. morning inspiration came from. It's like, aha, I think I've done one of these. Do I remember how to put it together? I think that's so pretty, even with the boo-boo over here. No sense in ignoring it, it's there. All right, so album placement. Let's take these middle ones out first. And then we're gonna center top to bottom, just slightly off the edge. I think I'm going to lift this. I'm going to pull it a little bit closer to this edge. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to sneak in here and take these edges off. Okay. There's so much open space on this. There's so many opportunities to do something with this. I just think that that's so pretty. Now, out of my strips, we're going to come back here to the front because it's kind of how I cut them. Out of my strips, I don't like this. I never have. I'm going to cover it up. So from my leftovers, I found a piece, cut it to the length of these gussets, and because they were 5/8 when we made them, I cut a 1/2 inch piece. And I cut them in order so that as you flip through and you're looking at this, hopefully this piece will connect, if you will. I mean, you're kind of losing how I want to describe this. So we're just tape this. I'm going to put that right there. Give it a good burnish. Now when you do this, these edges that you left in order to allow for the gusset buildup, they no longer glare at you. They don't stand out there. And then we're going to do this one. Gosh, we are almost done, people. Sneak this in here. Okay. Put that right in there. I really wanted to put like a music notes in here, but I didn't have a piece that was wide enough to make the cuts that I needed. It was long enough, but it wasn't wide enough. But this is turning out to be quite nice. The berries, the leaves, the stems. All right, so here's your album. You've got all of your pages done. You've covered up your gussets. Everything, I think, looks beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed making this. And do please come back and visit us for the next one.